There's a type of tiredness that ordinary sleep cannot resolve. You sleep 8 hours and wake up exhausted. Because what is exhausted is not the body, it's something deeper. Zen monks identified this centuries ago. There is a weariness of the soul that comes from living disconnected from oneself, of spending entire days moving but never present, of having 1,000 thoughts but no moment of clarity. And while this 402 Hz frequency dissolves tensions you didn't even know you were carrying, it's worth understanding what rest really means. True rest is not the absence of activity. It is the absence of internal resistance. You could be lying in bed and mentally fighting a war, or you could be walking and completely at peace. The difference is not in what you do, it's in how you relate to what you're doing. And here begins the Zen subversion of everything you were taught. Because they told you that peace comes when things are going well, when you get what you want, when problems are resolved. But monks living in extreme conditions, without possessions, facing harsh winters and unheated temples, found profound peace. As the answer goes against all Western logic. They stopped waiting for circumstances to change so they could be at peace. They reversed the equation. They found peace first. And from that peace, they dealt with circumstances, not as victims reacting, like conscious witnesses responding. There's a huge difference between reacting and responding. Reaction is automatic, scheduled. You don't even notice it happening until it's already happened. Response is conscious. There is space between stimulus and action. And in this space lives all your freedom. Freedom is not being able to do what you want. It's not being a slave to what you feel. Because feelings change, thoughts change, circumstances change. If your peace depends on any of these things, you will never have stable peace. You will always be a hostage to external forces. Zen points to something that does not change. Something that is there when you're happy and when you're sad, when you're healthy and when you're sick, when you're alone and when you are accompanied. That something is the consciousness that perceives all of this, and it has never been affected by any experience you have ever had. Think about it slowly. Every emotion you've ever felt has come and gone. Every thought you have ever thought has come and gone. Every situation you have ever experienced began and ended. But the consciousness that witnessed all this remained, untouched, unchanged, like a movie screen that is not stained by any film projected on it. You spent your entire life identified with the film, with the characters, with the drama, and forgot that it's the screen. It always was. It always will be. This misidentification is the root of all suffering. Because when you believe you are the character, you suffer the character's joys and torments. When you recognize that you are the screen, there is immediate freedom. The film can be tragic or comical. The screen remains. And you can enjoy the story without being consumed by it, without losing yourself in it. This is the awakening that Zen points to. It is not achieving some altered state. It's recognizing what has always been true. And recognition does not come from intellectual analysis. It comes from direct observation. This is why meditation is so central, not because sitting is special, but because in stillness, without distractions, you can finally observe the mechanics of your own mind, see how thoughts come out of nowhere, how emotions appear without invitation, how sensations come and go, and most importantly, realize that there is something that observes all of this, something that never enters the stream, which is always on the margin, testifying. Witnessing is supreme power, because what you can observe, you are not. If you can observe anger, you are not anger. If you can observe depressive thinking, you're not that thinking. There is separation. There is distance. And in that distance lies choice. When you are identified, there is no choice. Anxious thoughts appear, and you are swept away by anxiety. But when you witness it, when you see, anxious thought present, something changes, the anxiety may still be there. But you are not trapped in it. There is space around. There's air to breathe. Creating this space is practical. It doesn't happen once, and that's it. It's daily cultivation, like a gardener taking care of plants. You don't pull the plant to grow faster. You create conditions, watering, remove weeds, ensure adequate sunlight, and the plant grows naturally. Same principle with conscience. You create conditions through consistent practice. And awakening happens naturally, not because you forced it, but because you removed obstacles. The obstacles? These are concepts about who you are, stories you tell about your life, internalized limiting beliefs, unprocessed trauma. All of this creates layers between you and your true nature, like dust covering a mirror. The mirror never lost its ability to reflect. You just can't see through the dust. Zen is process of cleaning, kind but radical, because it questions everything. Absolutely everything. Nothing is sacred except direct truth. And direct truth is individual. What is true for you may not be true for another. There is no universal doctrine in Zen. There are only pointers, techniques, practices. But the truth you have to discover for yourself. Nobody can do it for you. Master can point to moon, but you have to look. And if you keep looking at your finger, you miss the moon. Words are fingers. Concepts are fingers. All pointing to something that cannot be captured in words. Something that needs to be experienced directly. Direct experience is available now, not tomorrow, not after years of practice, now. Because what you are looking for has never been absent. You just weren't looking in the right direction. It was looking outside when it was always inside. He was looking in the future when he was always in the present. I was looking for extraordinary experiences when I was always looking for the ordinary. Every breath, every heartbeat, every moment of simple awareness. All of this is portal, but the mind despises the simple. Mind wants complexity, want drama, want grand meaning, and you lose the sacred hidden in the mundane. You lose the extraordinary disguised as the ordinary. There is more mystery in your ability to be conscious now than in any paranormal phenomenon. There's more wonder in the fact that something exists, rather than nothing, than in any religious miracle. But the mind goes through this daily without realizing it. Because you're busy looking for something special. Zen destroys special. Everything is special, or nothing is. There's no hierarchy. Washing dishes is no less sacred than meditating. Working is no less spiritual than praying. Because spiritual is not a category of activity. It is a quality of presence. You can meditate mechanically and be completely absent. Or you can wash dishes with full attention and be completely present. Presence is what matters, not the activity label. Presence transforms everything. Shallow conversation becomes deep connection. Boring task becomes meditation. Ordinary moment becomes sacred experience. Not because you added something, but because you're totally there, without dividing attention, without being half here and half in the past or future, fully, completely, fully. And in this totality, there is satisfaction that does not depend on content. It doesn't matter what you're doing. It matters how you are being. Being totally is a lost art. Modern society values doing. The more you do, the more you are worth. Your identity is built on achievements, about papers, about titles. And when you stop doing it, who are you? This question terrifies. Because without the roles, without the achievements, without the performance, there is fear that there will be nothing left. Zen says, let there be nothing left. Because what remains when everything else is removed is your essential being. And this being is infinitely more precious than any achievement. But figuring it out takes courage. Courage to let go of constructed identity. Courage to question the narrative you tell about your life. Courage to see that maybe you are not who you think you are. Maybe you are much more, or much less, or completely different. And there is terror in that, because ego wants certainty, want defined limits. You want to know exactly who you are. Zen offers the opposite, fertile emptiness, not knowing, infinite opening. And that scares. Fear of emptiness is a fundamental fear, because emptiness feels like death. It feels like annihilation. But there's a crucial difference between emptiness and emptiness. Emptiness in the Zen sense is not a pathological absence. It is the absence of fixity. It is recognition that nothing is solid. Everything is process. Everything is flow. You are not a noun. You are verb. It's not a thing. It's happening. Constantly changing. Constantly recreating itself. And when you stop trying to freeze that into a fixed identity, there is tremendous freedom. Freedom to be different every moment. Freedom to change your mind. Freedom to grow. Freedom to make mistakes without mistakes defining you. Because you are not your actions. You are not your past. You are not your thoughts about yourself. You're a living mystery that cannot be captured in concept. And the more you relax into this mystery instead of trying to solve it, the more you become yourself, authentically, effortless. Effortless authenticity sounds contradictory, but that's exactly what happens when you stop trying to be something, when you release the performance, when you allow the truth of the moment to reveal itself. And the truth of the moment may be that you are tired, or anxious, or confused, or happy. Whatever it is, when you allow it without judgment, there's integrity. There is honesty, and from that honesty, appropriate action emerges. Appropriate action does not come from duty. It doesn't come from guilt. It doesn't come from trying to be a better person. It comes from seeing clearly. When you see what habit is hurting you, you naturally change. Not because someone said you should area, but because you directly saw the cost. And the change that comes from this vision is lasting, because it's not based on willpower. It is based on understanding. And understanding, once achieved, cannot be undone. So Zen offers no moral rules, offers clear vision cultivation. Because with clear vision, morality becomes unnecessary. You naturally don't want to hurt others because you see that separation is an illusion. Hurting another is hurting yourself, not metaphorically, literally. Because consciousness that animates another body is the same consciousness that animates yours. There is an ocean of consciousness. and we are all waves in this ocean. Waves appear separate, but they are made from the same water. They come from the same ocean. They return to the same ocean. This perception of unity is not belief. It is direct experience that arises in moments of deep presence. Moments where separation between self and non-self dissolves, where borders become porous, where you feel visceral connection with everything, with the tree, with the sky, with the stranger on the street. Not because you should feel it, but because you felt it. And once felt, it changes you, permanently, because you cannot completely go back to believing in the illusion of separation once you have felt the truth of connection. And it is in this connection that genuine compassion is born. Not pity, compassion, recognition, compassion. When you see another suffering, you see your own suffering, because it's the same suffering, same font, same root, ignorance of true nature. And from compassion comes a natural desire to alleviate suffering. Not to be good, not to accumulate positive karma, but because it's impossible not to want to ease when you actually see it, when you really feel it. Feeling deeply requires openness, and openness requires vulnerability. Society taught you to protect yourself, building walls, not to show weakness, but walls that protect you from pain also protect you from joy, that protect you from rejection also protect you from connection. There is no way to be selectively open. You are either open or you are closed. And full life requires total openness. Yes, you will get hurt. Yes, you will suffer, but you will also feel it deeply. You will love it intensely. You will truly live. To truly live is to take risks. It means not having guarantees. It's about letting go of control. And control is a great illusion. You control almost nothing. You don't control when you're going to die. You don't control whether you're going to get sick. You don't control what others think of you. It doesn't control the economy. It does not control politics. It does not control climate. All you can really influence is your response to what happens. And even that takes practice. Because automatic response is programmed by conditioning. Conscious response requires presence. Presence is where power resides. The only time you can act is now. Past is gone. Future is not yet. But mind lives in these two imaginary places, ruminates on the past, worries about the future, and you lose the only real moment, the only moment where life is happening, the only moment where choice exists. And every moment is an opportunity. Opportunity to start new, to let go of the past, of not being defined by history, from simply being present to what is. What is now is breathing, entering, leaving. It's a sensation in the body. Tension here, relaxation there. It's sound of that frequency, vibrating, penetrating. It's a passing thought, appearing, disappearing. It's emotion arising, mild or intense. All of this is happening now, and you may be aware of it, or you may be lost in thought about it. It could be here, or it could be in the story about here. Zen is a constant invitation to step out of the story and into direct experience. Direct experience is raw, unfiltered, not interpreted, just happening. And when you're in it fully, there's intensity. There's vividness. Colors are brighter, sounds are clearer, sensations are more acute. Not because reality has changed, but because you stopped cushioning everything with concepts. Stop putting layers of thought between you and experience. And pure experience is surprisingly satisfying, even when it's uncomfortable, because there is authenticity. There is reality, there is life without a filter, but mind prefers filter, prefer predictable, prefer acquaintance, because the unknown scares, and every moment is unknown, completely new. It's never happened before. It will never happen again. It's absolutely unique. But mind ignores singularity, categorize, label. Ah, another sunset. Ah, another Monday. And it loses its wonder, miss the miracle. You lose the sacred hidden in the common. Sacred is not in special places. It's not about elaborate rituals. It is in recognition that this here, now, is everything. It is complete in itself. No addition needed. It doesn't have to be different. It's exactly how it needs to be. And when you relax into that acceptance, when you stop fighting reality, there is peace. Not surface peace that depends on everything being perfect. Deep peace that recognizes everything is exactly as it is. And that's enough. Sufficiency is a revolutionary concept, because entire culture is based on insufficiency. About you not being good enough, not having enough, not knowing enough. Entire marketing depends on it. If you feel full, you stop consuming, and the economy collapses. So there is massive investment in keeping you feeling incomplete, in creating desires, in promising that the next product, the next achievement, the next relationship will finally complete you. But nothing external can complete you, because you're not incomplete, never was. It is an illusion created and perpetuated for control. Zen dissolves this illusion by exposing it. You are complete now, not when I get a better job, not when losing weight, not when you find a partner, now as you are, with all the flaws. with all the confusion, with every imperfection. This imperfection is your humanity. It's your beauty. It's your truth. And truth doesn't need approval. No validation needed. She simply is. Wet water does not need a certificate proving that it is wet. She is wet. End. You are consciousness. You are presence. You are being. You don't need to prove it. You don't need to conquer. You already are. And it always has been. Just forgot. Buried beneath layers of conditioning. Under expectations. Under trauma. Under stories. But never lost. Always there. Always accessible. Hoping you will stop searching and simply acknowledge. Recognition is instantaneous. It is not a gradual process. You see it or you don't see it. Like those 3D images where there are 2 images in one. You look and see nothing. And suddenly you see. And once you've seen it, you can't unsee it. You may look again and not be able to see. But you know it's there. Same thing with true nature. You can catch a glimpse. Moment of total clarity. And then lose. Back to confusion. But now you know there's something there. Something real. More real than anything else, and you can access it again. Accessing it again takes practice. Do not practice accumulation. Practice letting go, because what separates you from your true nature is not a lack of something. It's an excess of something. Excessive thinking, too much concept, too much history, too much identity. And letting go is harder than accumulating, because ego fights. Ego wants to survive, and ego survives through complexity. The more complicated it is, the more ego has room to operate. Simplicity is ego death, and the ego resists with all its might. But ego is not the enemy, it's just standard, schedule. Useful in specific contexts, problematic when taking full control. Zen is not about killing ego, it's about recognizing that you are not ego. Ego is a tool, like hand. Useful for picking up things, but you are not the hand, you use your hand. Likewise, you use ego to navigate the relative world, but you are not ego. You are consciousness that witnesses ego operating. And from that perspective, there is tremendous freedom, because you can use ego when appropriate, can have a sense of self when necessary, but you don't need to be trapped in it constantly. You can let go, you can relax into broader awareness. It could be nobody. And to be nobody is to be everyone. It's not being limited to a specific personality. It is an open space where any experience can happen, any emotion can arise, any thought can appear, and none of that defines you. None of this imprisons you. Imprisonment is believing in your own thoughts, especially thoughts about yourself. I'm anxious. I am a failure. I am inadequate. These thoughts appear, but they are not absolute truth. They are just thoughts. And thoughts have no power beyond what you give them. When you believe, they gain power. When you simply watch in disbelief, they pass, like clouds in the sky. He comes, they go. Heaven remains unchanged. You are the sky, not the clouds. And when you recognize this, thought storms lose power. They can come. They can be intense. But you know they will pass. You know they're not you. You are the space where they happen. And this space has never been touched by any storm. It has never been damaged. It was never diminished. It's pure. It's whole. It's complete. It always was. It always will be. Regardless of what happens on the surface. Surface changes constantly. It is the nature of existence. Impermanence is law. Everything arises. Everything will calm down. Nothing stays. Trying to hold on is suffering. Because you can't hold running water. You can only let it flow through your fingers. You can enjoy it as you pass by, but you can't own it. It cannot freeze. And when you accept this, when you let go of the need for permanence, there is lightness. There is grace. There is the ability to enjoy it completely, precisely because you know it is temporary. Temporality is present. It is recognition that this will not last. So enjoy now, not tomorrow, not when circumstances improve. Now, this moment, this breathing, this sound, this silence. All of this is present. Gift you can to receive, or you can ignore it while waiting for something better. But something better never comes, because when it arrives, it becomes present, and mind is already looking for something better next. It's an endless cycle. Leaving the cycle means stopping. Simply stop. Stop searching. Stop trying. Stop improving. Stop becoming. Just be. Here. Now. As you are. And in that stopping, paradoxically, real transformation happens. No forced transformation. Organic transformation, like a caterpillar becoming a butterfly. There's no effort. There's only natural process unfolding when conditions are right. And right conditions are created by stopping interfering, for trusting, by relaxing into the larger process that is always at work. Greater process is life living you. You are not living life through personal effort. Life is expressing itself through you. Your heart beats without you doing it. Your lungs breathe without conscious command. Your cells regenerate. Your wounds heal. All of this happens without you. There is intelligence operating that is infinitely wiser than the conscious mind. Zen teaches, trust this intelligence. Relax in it. Let her guide. And your only task is not to interfere with mental resistance. Mental toughness is saying no to what is. It's insisting that reality should be different. But reality is how it is. Your resistance doesn't change that. It just creates additional suffering. Pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. Pain is physical. It's a feeling. Suffering is mental. It's a story about pain. It's resistance to pain. It shouldn't be like this. And when you let go of resistance, when you allow pain without fighting, something strange happens. Pain is still there, but suffering diminishes because you are no longer creating an additional layer of tension. Same thing with difficult emotions. Sadness is not a problem. Resistance to sadness is a problem. When you allow sadness fully, when you feel it without trying to escape, it moves. It is processed. It is complete. But when you resist, when you try to suppress or distract, it gets stuck. It stays frozen, and it leaks in destructive ways. Zen teaches, feel everything, completely, without judging, without labeling as good or bad, just feel it, and allow it to pass naturally. Allowing is not passive, it's active, it requires courage, requires presence. Because feeling fully is intense. It's easier to escape. It's easier to get distracted. It's easier to anesthetize yourself. But ease comes at a cost. Cost is life half-lived. It's never feeling deeply. It's superficiality. It's protection that becomes prison. And eventually, when you look back, you realize you didn't live. You survived. And there is a massive difference. Living is taking risks. It's feeling. It's about being present for everything. Joy and pain, ecstasy and agony, love and loss. All because everything is part of it. You cannot select. Either you're open for life or you're closed for life. And as this frequency works deep layers, dissolves old tensions, opens space to feel again, to be again, recognize, you're being invited back into life, for presence, for truth. Not someday, now, always this moment, full, perfect, whole.